So, have you ever looked at one of Canada's passenger rail projects and just wondered, why does this cost so much? Why is it always delayed? Well, you are definitely not the only one. A brand new report called Fixing the Foundations gets right into the thick of it, and wow, what it found is a system that is seriously, seriously broken. Okay, let's get into it. And really, this is the question that kicks the whole thing off. Why does it cost 3 to 6 times more to build rail here than in countries we like to compare ourselves to? I mean, get your head around that number. 3 to 6 times. That is not a small rounding error. That points to something fundamentally wrong with how we do things. And when you look at the numbers side by side, it's pretty stark. You've got countries like Spain, France, the Netherlands. They're building for what, $200 to $350 million per kilometer, with delays of a year, maybe less. Then you look at Canada, and we are just completely off the charts. We're talking up to $1.2 billion a kilometer, with delays that stretch on for years. This isn't a fluke. It's a clear and disturbing pattern. So here's the thing the report makes super clear. Those crazy costs and endless delays, they're not the actual problem. They're just the symptoms. The real issues are these deep, systemic cracks in the very foundation of how Canada even thinks about building rail. Let's dig into the 3 biggest root causes they found.
First up, and this is a big one, design failures. It turns out projects are constantly being torpedoed by designs that are incomplete, uncoordinated, or in some cases just physically unbuildable. This means everything grinds to a halt for constant and very expensive rework.
And here's where the system just gets stuck in this ridiculous loop. When a design firm messes up, they often get replaced by a different firm, who then just goes and hires the exact same people from the firm that failed. The report calls this a revolving door practice, prioritizing billable hours over guaranteed outcomes. It's a cycle of failure with absolutely no accountability. Okay, the second major problem is basically a governance nightmare. There's no one in charge. Instead, you have this messy patchwork of federal, provincial, and city agencies, all with their own set of rules that often contradict each other. It's an absolute maze for anyone trying to get something built. And the result of all this fragmentation? Well, it's chaos, plain and simple. It leads directly to expensive redesigns when 2 sets of standards clash. It fuels endless legal battles over who's responsible for what, and for the suppliers trying to deliver the project, total confusion. It's a system that's designed to be inefficient. And finally, we get to the human element. The investigation found that training for the people actually building these rail lines is often just superficial. It's little more than tick box learning. Workers are getting these quick one-day courses that in no way prepare them for the incredibly complex and dangerous reality of working on a live railway. And the authors are not holding back on what this means. This isn't just about things taking longer. It is a massive safety risk. They say, and I'm quoting here, it is dangerous and it is waiting for a catastrophic accident to happen. I mean, that's a chilling warning. A workforce that isn't properly trained is a danger to themselves and to the public. Now, to really see how this plays out in the real world, the report takes us over to the UK to look at 2 huge high-speed rail projects. And let me tell you, they offer a powerful lesson in how to do it right and how to get it so wrong. So on one side, you have High Speed 1, or HS1. This project delivered on time and on budget. So how'd they do it? Simple. They had clear accountability with one single company in charge. And, this is the magic ingredient, the designs were 100% complete and verified before a single shovel went in the ground. Then, there's HS2. It became a global cautionary tale of fragmented leadership, incomplete designs, and costs that just spiraled completely out of control. The takeaway here is just so direct. For these massive, complex projects to succeed, you need disciplined planning and you need clear lines of authority. But most of all, you have to be absolutely ready to build before you start. These are not optional extras. They are the absolute essentials. Now, let's bring this back home because these failures don't just waste taxpayer money. They have a very real human cost. They shatter trust with the very companies, both here in Canada and internationally, that we desperately need to help us build a modern rail system. And this quote from the report really just puts a face on the whole problem. You have companies investing huge amounts of money, moving families, setting up offices here, all based on a promised contract. And then, because of shoddy planning by our transit agencies, the work just vanishes. It falls through, leaving these companies and their people holding the bag. And when that happens over and over again, you poison the well. Canada is now seen by many as a high-risk, unreliable market. This doesn't just scare away investment from other countries. It hurts our own Canadian suppliers who become too scared to grow in such a ridiculously unstable environment. Okay, so after all of that doom and gloom, there is some good news. The report doesn't just list all the problems and walk away. It actually gives us a clear, actionable blueprint with 7 specific steps designed to completely overhaul the system to fix the foundations. So here's the game plan. It starts with creating a single National Transit Rail Council to get everyone playing by the same rules. Then you develop unified Canadian standards so everyone's on the same page. Third, mandate real competency-based training. The plan also calls for independent certification for the whole supply chain, a shift to a safety culture that isn't about blame, and a total rethink of how we award contracts, so we reward quality, not just the lowest bid. And this next part is maybe the most important takeaway. This is not a buffet where you can pick and choose what you like. The report hammers this home. These 7 steps are an integrated package. Each one supports the others, and it's only by doing them all together that we can build a system that's truly efficient, safe, and accountable. And let's not forget why this matters so much. Let's go back to this number, 3 to 6. That's the price of doing nothing. Without these reforms, we're just going to keep paying 3 to 6 times more than we should for rail projects that are less safe, less reliable, and years behind schedule. This last quote really frames the choice Canada is facing right now. The authors make it clear that just sticking with the current system isn't a neutral choice. It's actively choosing continued decline. It's choosing to waste billions more and fall even further behind the rest of the world. So, ultimately, the report puts it all right there on the table for us. The problems are clear, the solutions are laid out, and the stakes could not be higher. The blueprint to build an efficient, safe, and world-class rail system for Canada now exists. The only question left is, do we have the will to actually use it?